Welcome to Isn't It Obvious, where things are obvious. That's going to be the intro. Welcome back to Isn't It Obvious, with your hosts, Micah, Sarah, and me. I'm going to go ahead and not want to mention my name because I feel like it's kind of creepy.
Hi,
Me,
Phil.
it's now your topic.
Okay, thanks, me.
Me now? This is really confusing.
Isn't it obvious where, things are obvious?
I really want to press the
Obviously.
restart button, but it's too late. I told myself once it
You're
starts, you can't
committed
stop.
now.
Yeah, all right.
Fuck it, we're doing it live!
The idea is that microwaves are not only a necessity. In fact, every household should have two. I've been thinking about just like insights of society at large, and I realized that in actuality, every house should have no fewer than two microwaves. This is a complete departure of
Phil,
the themes of previous discussions.
Phil, you do realize I don't have a microwave, right?
I do
I
realize...
have not had a microwave for almost a year now, it feels like. Maybe not quite a year. I can't remember when it broke, but haven't had an issue.
It certainly...
Saves time.
Yeah, that's the only thing it does, because it changes the flavor, it changes the texture, and it changes the consistency of food. Your perceived need for microwaves...
Perceived? Oh,
It is
man. You cannot be
absolutely
any thinly veiled on this.
It is not
Tell me
obvious.
what you
You
really
do
think,
not.
Micah.
You do
Granted,
not need a
I
microwave.
use my microwave daily,
Right, as you should.
but it is merely a reflection that in today's society, that the easier option is the better option, regardless of what the consequences are.
I do feel like
It is economic.
there's also a concept of like benefit versus burden. I have these like simple 3-word mantras in my life, and that's a classic case where, look, the burden is that you're going to have kind of poorly reheated food that is going to be ice cold in the center and lava hot on the outside. But it is just so convenient that I would never ever get rid of my science oven. And it just is really good at what it does, reheating food or even getting bagged vegetables. Like, I don't really have a healthy lifestyle, as you guys probably glean from.
But that's also a reflection of today's
Preaching to the
society, where everything you get is frozen or you don't know where it's from. If we had like the old Central Market thing where you would have to go, 2 or 3 times a week in order to get your food because you didn't have that means of preservation with a refrigerator, that you would eat better quality of food, thus have more investment in cooking.
How is frozen
And
less
ingestion.
quality? I cry.
I mean,
Are you making a good faith or bad faith argument? I can't tell.
I'm not sure, honestly, because that one isn't obvious to me. Are we losing anything if we freeze food besides flavor?
but
Yeah, besides general enjoyment of the food you're going to eat, is there anything else?
I have some pre-cooked chicken in my freezer right now, and I heat that up, and it's delicious.
How do you heat it up?
In the oven.
she just stares at her with her angry eyes from work. And just,
400 degrees, 13 minutes.
but it's...
Of anger.
It's
My oven is possessed. I swear it is possessed. There is a portal to hell in my oven.
Phil, think of it like this. Not only should you eat at McDonald's, you should eat at McDonald's twice a day.
So much salt. That's too much salt. That is so much salt, Micah. What are you thinking? That's not obvious.
I'm not even
No,
gonna,
but
like,
it's the ease in which food preparation is based in our society.
Too expensive.
What?
No, you can get a Dollar Chicken.
$1 for 4 pieces of chicken nuggets?
No,
No, just one big chicken nugget.
The McChicken.
Yeah, that's $1.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my god, I
It's a
don't go to
great deal.
McDonald's enough.
I mean, no, it's gross.
I really like the Egg McMuffin. That's like the only sandwich I get there, which is probably actually the best thing they make.
Yeah,
Because
until
it's-
you have eggshell in it, and you just...
Calcium.
Wait, I
But
don't
no,
know if
it's
that's
just
a lie.
egg,
No,
ham, cheese,
the last
and
time I
some-
had an Egg McMuffin from McDonald's, there were eggshells in my...
Clearly you had someone who was not doing their job very well.
I mean, all that's just prepackaged, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, how can you...
They don't have fresh eggs there.
No, well, no, they do. Don't they like do the? They break.
I'm pretty sure that's bullshit.
Okay,
I have no idea.
I was
So
actually...
I thought they broke
in-
it and then they microwave it, and that's how they get those nice
No,
little.
I'm pretty sure it's
fluffy
like
ones.
half or it's cooked,
You're
then
probably
frozen, and then nuked,
Yeah,
or
you're
put under
probably
like a
right.
heating lamp.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But it's because of our
Segue.
busy world, I mean, it is very busy, that we are always looking for the most expedient, efficient way, regardless what the negatives are with that expediency in order to fit into our lives.
You know what, though? I don't really think McDonald's is all that much faster or like, I can make
It's the ease.
It isn't, though. I can make myself an Egg McMuffin in about the same amount of time as it would take me to drive there, order it, sit, wait in line, get it. It's not as
But
fast.
it's not you making an effort to be like, it's Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, I better go get breakfast. Doo-doo-doo-doo, car, door, garage door, drive, McDonald's back. It's something that you do like, oh God, I'm done with work at 4:30. I gotta be somewhere at like 5:15, but I kind of had to skip lunch. Where am I going to go?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's different.
Yeah, because you're not going through the food prep because you don't have the hour the night before, because goddamn, you have to watch CSI.
I don't have a TV either, by the way, everyone. No microwave, no TV. What kind of era am I living in?
I mean, I like it, but you're also like glued to your computer, so I think
I read a lot.
You're the future, as opposed to us old bats, where I sit and watch network TV.
Good point.
Insert segue here. Have you guys watched this old Batman movie in the 90s where Jim Carrey was the Riddler?
Mm-hmm. Batman Forever. Val Kilmer.
Vaguely.
Tommy Lee Jones' Two-Face.
Rings a bell, maybe. I don't watch a lot of anything, so.
And in the movie, the Riddler comes up with some contraption. It's just a basic television set?
No. It's not the television set. It's basically like a internet router.
Right.
That steps into your brain and gives you like 3D images. The Enigma machine, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. And then you see the family all watching a different thing in their head, but they're all sitting next to each other. Mm-hmm. And this is like way before Wi-Fi, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's like, oh, the Riddler, he's going to control human race by like tapping into the families and right in their living rooms, and they're all never going to like. And then he was just like that sort of premise.
Good before it's time.
No, a great thing about that in terms of like art predicting the future.
Oh, they're so good.
2001: A Space Odyssey has iPads in it, and the actors in it are just as bored as people now are with it.
Oh,
because they were so used to that technology that did not exist, that they are just blasé with it. Like, can you sign that? All right, cool, let's go.
I was thinking like that idea of someone being bored with a magic rectangle, like, and now you see people in a household, right? They don't really need to have a TV. Everyone could have their own rectangle and just space out, just like in that terrible movie in the 90s. And they're all doing their own thing. So when someone says, hey, look, I don't have a television. I don't need it. I don't want to watch something on the air or watch like a weekly or daily news or something like this. It doesn't seem as impressive as it did compared to the 90s when I had friends. Yes, that's right.
When you had friends.
When I had friends.
Are we chop liver?
Well, I also have friends. Like, okay, verbs are... Like, I have plenty of friends. I have...
The importance of the shared experience has diminished over the importance of the experience itself. Where you watching a movie with your friends isn't as important now as you just, like, watching that movie. Because then that gives you a bit of uniqueness because there's so much media out.
Wait a minute. Is this like inversely proportional to hipsterdom, where it's like, oh, I really like that, but now it got mainstream, so I don't like it anymore? Or
No, it's not necessarily a matter of that, but it's like, do you have a streaming account?
Yes, I have more than one.
Okay.
Don't judge me.
That's fine. What was the last thing that you watched that you thoroughly enjoyed?
I really enjoyed Storybots.
What?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm here with a policy that I'll be honest, but I'm also going to be honest that I don't want to talk about it.
All right,
I don't know what this is.
Let's go back to something else. You're a brony.
Hey, I'm a...
Calm.
Hey,
Calm.
got some problems.
I am so glad that I didn't mention my name earlier. You guys kind of like made fun of me, but if this ever came
Phillip
out in my
Joseph
workplace...
Marshall.
I don't even know who that is.
Anyway, you're a brony.
This is true.
Would you consider yourself a brony?
I appreciate that show probably more than I should.
Okay. Would you
lovely fucking show.
I love it.
Would you
just
give yourself the title of brony? Or are you just a fan of My Little Pony?
You don't have to answer this question. As your
know.
legal consult, you
Thanks.
don't need to...
Thank you, lawyer.
No, but here's the proof I'm
I
taking
don't know, because I haven't watched every single episode. I'm not... I don't have any, like, My Little Pony memorabilia or any of like I don't have like I enjoy that show. I would understand memes about it. But I'm not a huge participant in the the culture, the community of fandom.
Right.
But I do really like that show. It's a great show.
You have appreciated your experience with My Little Pony. To the point that you call yourself a brony, which is its own distinction.
Correct.
You have enjoyed your experience with My Little Pony, but not to that extent. I have zero interest in it. So
Mike is lame.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 people agree.
The 3 of us have very different experiences on the same media source, but it's not an imperative for our friendship that we all like that same thing.
True.
Much like it was earlier when you had less media. Much like that Batman Forever movie.
Sense.
If you watch that, you talk about it with your friends. If somebody hadn't seen it, it's like, it's Joel Schumacher. He made it more campy. Like, it's such a departure from the Tim Burton, and like you can be that snobby about it. But now, it's less important that you share that experience with your friends. It's more important as an individual that you experience the thing because there's so much to pick from.
Do you think that's a positive, though?
Yeah.
Because, like, I think about, like, the term dork and nerd and like...
That's a whole different...
Well, I know, but I mean, like, I know, I'm sorry to evolve into more things, but, like, back then, like, the popular people way back, like, our parents' era, like, it was important to be, like... seen as normal, like be a cheerleader or a football player and, be that classic American high school ideal, right? You didn't want to be seen as the nerdy, dorky kid, right? But like my experience in high school, I didn't give any fucks. I just did whatever I wanted and liked whatever I liked.
I think that's more of a you experience.
Okay, maybe that's just me. I don't know, but and we're our age group is a little different, but
I mean every generation is different.
Yeah, but like I feel like nowadays people care less, like you said, about the appearance of a shared experience than just having experienced it and then creating your own judgment as an individual about it, of that experience, rather than... And I feel like it's more important that you just know what happened rather than how you feel about it. Because people, I think, are more like, you know what? You feel how you feel. Mm-hmm. You experience how you experience. And that's okay, whatever it is.
I mean, I think it's reflected well in... what would be considered like the fringe group now of like the online incel community.
Ugh. Yeah.
Right. Where their sense of normie is so big that they are like so specifically defining what they are that any infringement in that automatically throws you into the ocean of everyone else.
I'm just going to add here that I do think... Oh, man, we went to this route now, and I can't get out.
Didn't this start with microwaves? Sorry.
It did.
Yeah, but it's ease of society, ease of ingestion, and it's to the greater topic of society.
And then you said you didn't have a television.
I'm sorry.
The Mad Window Media.
And
now incels.
Now incels.
Am I sorry?
And I actually feel like I may have been an incel when I was in high school. Like, I'm being a little bit too honest, but when I looked at... I think I mentioned this earlier before, but I did some reflection time about kind of what my high school and maybe even middle school years were like, because I have this sort of quest to make sure that I'm in a good school district for another generation. Mm-hmm. And it made me question a lot of my values about what's important is like having AP classes, college readiness, standardized tests, is the social economic status of the peer group going to be the same? What are their friends are going to be like? Am I going to be around like-minded people? And then I kind of had to look back at my own experience coming from middle school, high school time. And I think that I was the most entitled, like just a prick of a person to be like, no, you guys need to respect me who I am because I am special. And everyone had that type of attitude. Like maybe you didn't, maybe you did not, but like I just felt like I was... I don't know, like I deserved more. And you start to get a lot of resentment when you see people like, oh, well, I'm in the better, I don't know, football team or something like this. They're a classic American
class
type.
Versus
right.
The accelerated class, which is a step below, but it's still a step above the regular class. Like there's like accelerated chemistry, there's AP chemistry, and then there's regular chemistry for the noobs or the lame people who don't know what they're doing.
This is right. Like for
that
me,
kind of bullshit.
When I was growing up, it was all about less about jockdom and more about like, well, I'm in all AP classes. I'm taking 4 this year, and my scores are 3 and above, and I'm going to graduate university in 2 years. And like that was the type of environment I was in. So it's kind of a little bit more different as far as like what I was trying to compete against. And if you're not doing very well academically, like I wasn't doing poorly, but I wasn't like very sharp, I always felt like, oh, well, I was kind of viewed upon as almost like a lesser. Like the best way I can explain it was I hated the book Brave New World, right? I actually had to read that for a stupid AP class, but anyway. And the idea of it is like, oh, well, these are the alpha people, and these are the beta people, and these are like, you know, you keep going on to lesser people. And then my cohorts were reading this, or classmates, I guess. Cohorts. You assholes.
Same thing.
The idea was that they really enjoyed it because they envisioned themselves to be like, kind of like, well, I'm doing very good in school, so I'm clearly in this kind of, as a protagonist in my own head, like I am kind of the alpha in my own brain. But if you're not, and you can clearly treat it as not, you kind of get a sense that the whole world kind of sucks. And you're kind of stuck there for the next, 6 to 8 years, right?
Phil, welcome to the indifferent universe that doesn't give a shit about who you are or what you've done.
Well, I love this universe. Like, I feel like it's the inverse World of Warcraft where you're stuck in Element Forest and then you can go out and do other things.
Yeah, you make your own destiny, man.
But you are on rails until the K through 12 is done, and because you are stuck in some kind of like prison archetype where
in a way.
No, it's a factory archetype.
Factory, prison.
It is more. I agree with you on that.
It's not so much you're told what to do, where to go, all of that. It's you learning the acceptance of being there. Like the reason why tardy or like truancy was so important.
Bells.
You're learning some...
Because you need to put in that 8 hours at the factory, and you need to be okay with that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because that's what it was. It's such an archaic holdover from the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
I mean, it does kind of make you wonder who the voice of the customer is for for schools for K through 12, but I won't go there. That was actually one of my other ideas, but now it's gone.
Go, brother.
But
what did you say over there?
It was a coke. I mean a cough.
My thought was that like I just grew up resenting the kind of good old American boy type of archetype. The idea that you have to be very successful in either academics or schooling or athletics or some sort of popular thing, and if you're not, then you're kind of cast aside and viewed as a lesser person. And if you have that thing in your head and it just germinates, you can't get out of it until you're out of that whole universe.
It doesn't. Well, you're right there, but there's like people who you're pretty self-aware. I know people who are still stuck in that mentality of they have to have XYZ because that's the script that they've subscribed to. I've had friends who also took the AP classes when they really shouldn't. They should have stuck with the regular. They got C's and they're like, but it's AP classes, so it's like an A in a regular class. I'm like, no, it's not. Because who cares after you graduate from high school? Nobody.
Right.
Nobody cares.
Well,
I understood that game going into it. I'm like, no, just do the regular stuff. Get all A's. That's going to be way more impressive than your C's in an AP class. Just saying.
That was my...
I mean, if you're going to Dartmouth, not Harvard.
I mean, if you're not planning on going to some fancy schmancy
but that
40,000
that's another podcast
plus.
to education.
All right.
Anyway, to wrap my whole diatribe up, it's basically that... Really, I can understand why the incel community is so angry, right? They feel like they should be owed something, that they're more aware, and to some extent, about like the falsehoods of popular culture. About why is a football player considered to be such high value in a marketplace compared to someone that has independent thoughts and their own philosophy, and why am I not being...
Why can't football players have independent thoughts?
Well,
the CTE hurts their brain.
They don't think of other people as other people. They think of other people as caricatures. They don't think of these individuals as individuals. That's why they're incels.
Yeah, it's not
they
a
don't
person,
think of
it's
women.
a Chad.
They don't think of women as women. They
it's
think of women as a Stacy, or a Chad, or an archetype, a caricature. They don't consider that people are individuals, and that's why they're where they're at.
And they themselves are like the...
So their reasoning... Sorry, I didn't mean to...
No, it's fine. their reasoning for that type of like stereotyping, and it's more egregious than stereotyping, is that they were wronged in some way, shape, or form. Where it's that the entitlement, where I should get a lady because I'm a man, and that's what happens.
Yeah.
I should put in zero effort because the society around me tells me that I just need to be in a relationship. It's not that I have to put work into it, that I need to be approachable and accessible, and I need to offer something to a potential partner. No, I just need one because it's what I was told.
I deserve one because I'm a person with human feelings, and I really want one. So can you give me, a thing to fuck?
And person like 120 pounds,
Just saying.
like D's.
Yeah. Oh, and also I'm gonna,
and like can cook and clean and is happy with that.
And never complains, and all these unrealistic expectations. They're not individuals. They're not even people.
And you know why? Because they have 2 microwaves in their studio apartment.
There comes full circle. There we go.
Well, damn it, we're out of time. Till next time, folks, where I reveal another embarrassing part of my life.
Well, all of our moments. Anyway.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.